Welcome back.
Tax Talk Nigeria, where we decode the country's new tax reforms and explain what they really mean for you and me. I'm Mr. Tax, and in this episode, we're talking about something every young Nigerian cares about: the hustle. Today's topic, um, which is the Small Business Relief and Development Levy, a reform that's meant to make life easier for small business owners, but also one that demands we step up and become more accountable. So let's break it down together. In Nigeria, almost everyone is a hustler. Some people call it entrepreneurship, others call it survival. From the student selling thrift clothes online, to the barber running a shop, to the young teach, to the young tech founder working from a cafe, we all have one thing in common. We want to make something out of nothing. But for years, our tax laws didn't fully recognize that reality. Small businesses were either overtaxed or completely ignored. Some paid multiple levies to local and state governments. Others operated in fear because they didn't understand what they were supposed to pay. That confusion discouraged many from registering their businesses at all. So then, in 2025, the Nigerian government introduced a new reform under the Tax and Fiscal Policy Amendment Act, creating small business relief measures and a development levy that applies to registered small enterprises. The idea? Well, to give small businesses room to breathe while still contributing a fair share to national development. Here's what's changed. Well, for one, we have a reduced tax burden, which allows businesses that earn below a certain threshold, say 25 million a year, you now pay either zero or minimal company income tax. We also have the one development levy, which means instead of several confusing small levies from different agencies, we pay one simplified development levy. It's a small annual contribution that goes into infrastructure and youth enterprise support. And we also have formalization incentives, which if you register your business and keep, you register your business and keep digital records, you can access government programs, grants, and bank loans more easily. In short, it means less pressure and more clarity. But here's the catch: it must be registered, transparent, and accountable. Let's talk about the, the youth. Let's talk about us. We've seen how many young people start amazing things, a fashion brand, a food page, an app idea, or a content studio, but they stop halfway because the system feels hostile. This reform changes that tone, it's the government's way of saying we see your hustle, we want to help it grow, but you have to meet us halfway. So formalizing your hustle is no longer optional, it's an advantage because when your business is registered, you can open a corporate account, you can get access to grants or youth focused tax credits. You can even build a public record of both. And when you contribute that small development levy, you're saying I'm not just hustling for myself, I'm part of a bigger picture. Let's put it in practice. Let's make it real. Meet Femi, a 28-year-old who runs a printing and design shop in Ilorin. Before 2025, he paid random levies to three different officials: local, environmental, and trade, none of which came with receipts. So after the reform, he registered his business with the Corporate Affairs Commission, linked it to his new tax identification number, and now pays just one development levy annually through the digital tax portal. He saves money, avoids harassment, and even got access to a small business grant because he's officially documented. So yeah, that's what tax reform looks like when it works right. But according to experts, the small business relief reform is part of Nigeria's broader effort to expand the tax base without overburdening small players. Economically, it's better to have many people paying small, fair taxes than a few companies paying too much. The development levy, meanwhile, creates a shared pool of funds used for roads, digital infrastructure, and youth enterprise projects, especially in states with active SME communities. So when you pay, you're indirectly investing in your business environment.
In all of this,
There are still concerns. Some small business owners worry that one levy could quietly become many again. Others fear that funds would be properly used. There's also the digital gap where many local entrepreneurs don't yet understand how to register, file, or even pay online. That's why awareness matters, and that's why this conversation exists. Because reform is only powerful if people actually know how to use it.
let's
Mindset shifts. You know, let's be honest, many youths still see tax as something government does to them, not for them. But that mindset is changing. When we understand reforms like this one, we begin to see tax as a partnership, not a punishment. If you earn legitimately, pay what's fair, and document it, you gain credibly, and credibility is currency. It's open doors, This isn't about making the government rich, it's about making you visible. So, in all of that, what can you do right now? You know, one, you register your business, even if it's small.
um
It's your TIN, it's digital and it's free. Three, learn your category, know if you qualify for small business relief. Four, pay your development levy once, transparently and online. Five, you can keep receipts because your proof of compliance is a badge of legitimacy, of
because
proof of compliance is your badge of legitimacy. So that's how you turn your hustle into a business and your business into a future. So the next time someone says government doesn't support small businesses, remind them that support starts with structure. The small business relief and development levy is that structure, and it's up to us to make it work. So next time on TTN, we'll explore a reform that hits closer to home, literally. We'll discuss how digital creators, freelancers, and influencers are now part of Nigeria's official tax system. If you learn, if you earn online, you will want to hear this. So I'm Mr. Tax, and this is TTN, making sense of change one reform at a time.